Sorry about that. I cut off the end of the video, so I had to start a new one. So we're continuing on with your preposition guided notes, and we're talking about the rules. We already got the first two rules, and we're going to start talking about the third one. So we already said the first word is always a preposition. Well, the last word in a prepositional phrase is always going to be some sort of noun. So it could be a common noun, it could be a proper noun, or it could be a pronoun, but it's always some sort of noun. And then that last noun is doing the job of what's called an object of the preposition. And I call it an OP for short. And so you can see with object, again, an object is always some sort of thing, and things are always some sort of noun. So that should help you remember that an object of the preposition is always either a noun, a proper noun, or a pronoun. So you're still going to label or parse as a noun, proper noun, or pronoun, because that is the part of speech it's doing. But we're going to start talking about how some parts of speech have different jobs. And this happens to be the job of the object of the preposition. It's a job in the phrase, the prepositional phrase. So there may be modifiers that come in between your preposition at the beginning and your object of the preposition at the end of your phrase. So those modifiers could be articles, they could be adjectives, or they could also be something we haven't talked about yet, adverbs. We are going to talk more about adverbs later, but I have to talk about them a little right now just because I've already said a preposition, in order to be a preposition, has to be in a phrase. So I want to show you a little bit more about that. So these two sentences are very similar. She went in the house. Okay, in one, you have the prepositional phrase in the house. It's showing the relationship between her, she, and the house. It's where she is. She's in the house. So you have a prepositional phrase. It starts with a preposition. It ends with some sort of noun. And it has a modifier in between. You don't always have to have a modifier, but this one happens too. So you have a prepositional phrase. If you cut off the end of this, she went in, you no longer have a prepositional phrase. In is no longer acting as a preposition. It's acting as a part of speech we'll talk more about later, an adverb. Because an adverb usually says, it describes the verb. So it's saying where you went in. So now that you chopped off your phrase, you no longer have a preposition, you have an adverb. So that is the difference between those two. So I want you to take a look at the other one. And you'll notice I'm doing something that we're going to be doing from here on out. I am bracketing prepositional phrases. That is going to be the very first thing you do whenever you start to label a new sentence. So let's take a look at the next one and bracket the prepositional phrase. He ran around the yard. So I found he in relationship to the yard. He's around the yard. So there is my prepositional phrase. Remembering that the preposition always comes first. I've got some sort of object, some sort of noun. This happens to be just a common noun. And I have another article right here. So I have a prepositional phrase in that one. But if I take off the phrase and I just leave around by itself, it's no longer a preposition. It's describing the verb. And now it is an adverb. We'll talk more about it later, but in this one, the whole prepositional phrase is acting as an adverb describing ran, telling where he ran. In this one, it's just the word. So this changes to an adverb. This is a whole entire phrase. So let's take a look at a sentence. The vase sat in the middle of the room. So I want you to take a look at that and see. Remember I said the first thing we're going to do from here on out is always find the prepositional phrases. It's really going to help you if you do that first. So if you take a look, we've already done a couple that start with in, so hopefully you recognized in the middle. Middle is a place. That's going to be your noun, so you have to end right there. And so you know the first word is your preposition. You know the last word is some sort of noun. This is just a regular noun. And you have an article. Okay, then you have to take a look. You already know that this is an article and that this is a noun. So that's going to be some sort of verb. So all you have left is of and the and room. So of is going to be a really common preposition. So if you take a look, it's right here on your list. That's one you definitely want to memorize. So we're going to go ahead and bracket that, of the room. Your first word is your preposition, room is your noun, and we have another article. So now you have that sentence labeled. So I want you to take a minute, pause the video, copy down this sentence. He started walking toward the back of the room, and see if you can find the prepositional phrases. Remember to bracket them first and label them. So pause the video. All right, let's see how you did. So first of all, you should have found 2 prepositional phrases. Toward is right on your list, right there in the T's. So toward the back is a place. So that's going to be your noun. Toward was your preposition. You've got an article in the middle. And then we have of again. I told you it's a pretty common one. Of the room. Room is your noun at the end, and you have a modifier, the article, in the middle. So back and room are both doing the job of the object of the preposition. So on some of your worksheets, it's going to ask what job is such and such doing, and you can say that it is an object of the preposition. It might also be doing the job of a modifier. Articles and adjectives both are doing the jobs of modifiers. So that is how you parse prepositions and prepositional phrases. Please make sure you've got everything filled in your guided notes. If you have any questions, make sure you reach out and ask me. And remember, you can always rewatch the videos. It helps to listen to it more than one time.